Okay, yeah, so welcome to part 2 of Semiconductor Electronics. Before watching this video, if you have not watched the previous video, then please do watch that. Otherwise, both topic are buji napabi. So quick recap. Kiki poislo in the last video. What is semiconductor? So we know semiconductor is a device whose conductivity lies between conductor and insulator. And why semiconductor? Because the main two reasons I'll tell you here. Duta main reason asle eta hol semiconductor we can use as a insulator or as a conductor according to our convenience. Second, semiconductor uses very less power consumption both common. And one more thing I want to add is semiconductor provides unidirectional flow of current. That means in semiconductor current flows only in one direction. Okay, then what is energy band diagram? So yet I told you to remember the three diagrams of conductor, semiconductor and insulator. Tinta energy band diagram ki hai with energy band gap. Okay, then what is forbidden energy gap? So forbidden energy gap is nothing but the energy gap between conduction band and valence band. Then intrinsic semiconductor, this is also called pure semiconductor, correct? Extrinsic, impure semiconductor. In the last video we have already learned how an intrinsic semiconductor works. In this video we will learn how an extrinsic semiconductor works and what are the different types of extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, so before moving to that, let's discuss what is Fermi energy level or simply Fermi energy. Okay, Fermi energy is the maximum possible energy possessed by a free electron of a material at 0 Kelvin. Okay, that means at a free electron at 0 Kelvin temperature jiman energy here thake, that is called Fermi energy. In an intrinsic semiconductor, please remember this point, in an intrinsic semiconductor, actually this is called number density of electron equal to number density of holes is equal to number density of intrinsic carrier concentration. And what do you mean by number density? Number density means nothing but number of electrons per unit volume. Okay, derivation is not that much important, so just remember this point. Numerical solve for today, this will be helpful. Then in an intrinsic semiconductor, as we have learned, normally current flows due to movement of electron in a conductor, but in semiconductor current flows due to movement of electrons as well as movement of holes. So in a semiconductor, the total current is given by I, which current is denoted by capital I equal to IE plus IH, where I is the total current, IE is the current due to electrons, and IH is the hole current or current due to movement of holes. Okay, then in an intrinsic semiconductor, this point is very important. In an intrinsic semiconductor, the energy required to jump an electron from valence band to conduction band, this is nothing but we can say in an intrinsic semiconductor, the forbidden energy gap is about 1.1 electron volt for silicon and 0.72 electron volt for germanium. This means that jodi semiconductor ki hoy, it acts as a insulator at room temperature. So ami jodi tak 1.1 electron volt energy diu, and if that semiconductor is silicon, then only it will act as a conductor. Okay, similarly for germanium 0.72 electron volt, 0.72 electron volt energy dibo lagibo, tetiahe it will behave like a conductor. Ei energy to ami keneke dim? We give this energy thermally. I mean thermal energy dibo, mane ki karo, we increase the temperature. So normally at 0 Kelvin it acts as a insulator. So jodi ami bahai dilo, let's say 20 Kelvin kori dilo, tetiao it may act as an insulator. Jodi ami bahai room temperature poai dilo, what is the room temperature? 27 degrees Celsius or simply 300 Kelvin. So at 300 Kelvin or about 300 Kelvin, jodi energy to 1.1 electron volt hoi jay, aru jodi material to silicon hoy, tetia hole current flow koribo start dibo. Aru jodi germanium hoy, then 0.72 electron volt hoar loge loge current flow koribole start dibo, or it will act as a conductor. So now the jodi before moving to the next question ase hetu joar agote jodi bhalke sao yat siliconor energy band gap, this is nothing but energy band gap. Energy band gap is more than germanium. Etu kyo? Aru ei jetu energy band gap ba valence band ba conduction band energy etu ketia hobo? Jetia ami eta covalent bond break kori dim, correct? So etu kyo beshi ki hoy? Siliconot kyo beshi hoy, germaniumot kom hoy? Jodi electronic structure likho, then you will see সিলিকনৰ আউটাৰ সেল ভ্যালেন্স ইলেক্ট্ৰন এটা ক'ত আছে 3s2 3p2 আৰু জাৰ্মেনিয়ামৰ ক'ত আছে 4s2 4p2 ভালকে ধ্যান দে সো 3s2 3p2 আৰু 4s2 4p2 যদি কেমিষ্ট্ৰি অফ কনসেপ্ট লগা আয়নাইজেশন এনাৰ্জি ক'ত বেছি হ'ব কো মানে আয়নাইজেশন এনাৰ্জি কি আছিল ইলেক্ট্ৰন এটা উলিয়াই নিবৰ কাৰণে যিমান এনাৰ্জি দিব লাগে ভ্যালেন্স সেলৰ পৰা সো ইয়াত ক'ত বেছি হ'ব obviously সিলিকনত বিকজ সিলিকনটো কি হৈ আছে সিলিকনৰ আউটাৰ সেলৰ ইলেক্ট্ৰন কেইটা নিউক্লিয়াছৰ ওচৰতে আছে তো ইহঁতৰ মাজৰ বণ্ডটো কি হ'ব ষ্ট্ৰং হ'ব সো সেই বণ্ডডাল ভাঙিবলৈ কাৰণে আমি বেছি এনাৰ্জি দিব লাগিব না সেইকাৰণে কি হয় সিলিকনৰ এনাৰ্জিটো বেছি হয় বাট জাৰ্মেনিয়ামৰ 4s2 আছে সিলিকনৰ 3s2 আছিলে 4s2 4p2 মানে 4th অৰ্বিটত আছে যদি 4th অৰ্বিটত থাকে তেতিয়াহ'লে কি হ'ব তাৰ এনাৰ্জিটো কম লাগিব কম্পেয়াৰ্ড টু 3rd অৰ্বিট বুজি পালি যদি এটো বুজি পালি then next this is the question directly taken from book so next question to both silicon and germanium are tetravalent in the last video we have already learned tetravalent that means outer shell of 4 electron আছে carbon family হয় carbon to 4 electron আছে then why carbon is a insulator but silicon and germanium acts as a semiconductor so this is the question book question দিয়া আছে question answer মই already অলপ আগতে দিয়ে দিলো কি হয় ফার্স্ট কি করবে গোটে তিনটারে কার্বন সিলিকন এন্ড জার্মেনিয়াম রাইট ডাউন দ্য ইলেকট্রনিক কনফিগারেশন you will see in carbon the valence electrons are in 2s2 and 2p2 cell whereas for silicon it is 3s2 3p2 and germanium 4s2 4p2 correct so kor pa easy hobo sabse beshi germanium pa nibole sabse easy hobo silicon pa germanium ko alop kosto hobo but carbon pa nibor kane bahut beshi energy dibo lagibo so normally that's why carbon acts as an insulator explanation here dia ase eto answer pohilo paro ki dia ase the four bonding electrons of carbon silicon and germanium lie respectively second and third and fourth orbit respectively eto kene gam pabi electronic configuration likhar pasat so energy required to take an electron from which is ionization energy is highest for carbon then next it is for silicon and then last sabse kom lagibo minimum lagibo germanium so germanium will easily act as a semiconductor silicon aru kosto korile hoy jabo but carbon it is very hard well that's why the carbon acts as an insulator then the just quick revision of the last video at 0 Kelvin a semiconductor behaves like a perfect insulator because there are no free electrons why it acts as a perfect insulator because at 0 Kelvin all the covalent bonds of an intrinsic semiconductor sub covalent bond hoy ase electron there is no free electron that's why it acts as a perfect insulator so jetia ami temperature increase korim say to room temperature a few of the electrons bond the covalent bond and it jumps from valence band to conduction band and hence it acts as a conductor this is from the last video okay so normally ki asle need of extrinsic semiconductor keneke ahile last video ami discuss korisilu intrinsic semiconductor ki hoy covalent bond bor break koribar karone jitu energy dibo lage aru covalent bond bahut kom break hoy it is about 100 covalent bond break hoy in 10 to the power 30 room temperature jodi 10 to the power 30 ta silicon atom ase tar okol 100 ta covalent bond he break hobo to kiman kom hoyso okay so aru ki hobo jodi ami temperature bahai diu aru covalent bond break hoy go thibo kintu jodi temperature beshi bahai diu ki hobo kenebaka silicon or germanium gotei crystal to break hoy gol tetia to borbad hoy jabo ha so ki hoy to increase the thermal conductivity at room temperature also we need extrinsic semiconductor okay so line to pohiso ki dia ase need of extrinsic semiconductor at room temperature the number of free electron is very less in case of an intrinsic semiconductor or pure semiconductor okay so to increase the thermal conductivity of intrinsic semiconductor impurities are added in the process of crystallization okay impurities ami mon gole side eta silicon crystal lalo ar side ami bandi dibo noro ami ene upor fabric lagai dibo noro there are few processes okay process ke ama ki hoy na lage bas ami kitap ki koribo paro by heating also we can ami heat kori blai mother koribo paro by crystallization in the process of crystallization also we can put some impurity into the pure semiconductor okay so and the semiconductor thus form is called extrinsic semiconductor and one more thing you should remember in an intrinsic semiconductor the conductivity depends on temperature jimane bahaba conductivity bahibe goi thakiba but that is too risky jodi beshi temperature bahai do then the crystal may break okay tita problem hoy jabo hal extrinsic semiconductor dia temperature upon depend kore ne nokore that we will discuss in the later portion of this video yalike thike ase why need of extrinsic semiconductor. Then this definition I have already given in the last video. What is doping? Doping is the process of adding impurity to a semiconductor. Okay, এটা pure semiconductor asile say silicon or germanium tat jodi ami impurity add koru aru impurity ji mon jay etu ami add koribo noru enuka na je ji kiba ta mon gol ani ami bharai dilo enuka na je dhuli ekhini ani ami bharai dili impurity boli. Okay, so kisuman specific atom ase or kisuman specific molecule ase jibur ami lagabo paru and this process keneke logam this process is called doping. Okay, both silicon and germanium are tetravalent. We already know this. And it is just eta dia ase ki hoy etu ki hoy diagram hoy. This diagram is intrinsic semiconductor diagram hoy. Silicon structure ki dekho ase covalent bond dekho ase valence electron eta free electron la that's why it will act as a insulator at room temperature. The temperature boha ki hobo some bonds may break so electrical conductivity increase hoy jabo ebu aste sab last video. Okay, then the concentration of doping is very small. That means doping jitu hoy this concentration is very small and to be precise this is around 1 ppm. That means eta atom ami dope koru in 10 to the power 6 pure crystal jodi ami dhorilo. Okay, next come and the material used for doping is called dopant. Ami jitu material use korim sab to question sab use koribo noru jibur material ami use korim for doping that is called dopant. Dopant may be trivalent or pentavalent. Hal trivalent means ki hoy there are 3 electrons in the outer cell and pentavalent means there are 5 electrons in the outer cell. So tetravalent mane ki hoy there are 4 electrons in the outer cell. So I think yalike alop gom paise ki hobo jodi trivalent impurity jodi bharai di majot jodi pentavalent impurity jodi majot bharai di ki hobo. Okay, so okay ki koi aslo concentration. Okay, so concentration means so let's say ami trivalent eta impurity anilo trivalent ki hopare boron. Okay, dhorilo ta boron eta ami silicon majot bharai dim tetia ki hobo boron eta silicon majot bharai dilo process to ki kobo doping kiman bharam hetu hoy gol concentration. Okay, jitu boronok bharalo this boron is called dopant. Well, then this concentration is very small that is which is about 1 ppm 1 parts per million. That means 10 to the power 6 silicon or germanium jodi atom thake tar majot ami akol eta boron atom bharam aru jodi iman khiniu koru tetia amar electrical conductivity bahut beshi bahi jabo. Hal it will be around 20 times bahi jabo jodi normally say x amount electrical conductivity hoy asle te jodi ami 1 ppm doping koru 1 boron atom doping koru 10 to the power 6 silicon atom upor tetia conductivity 16x hoy jabo or 20x hoy jabo bahut beshi bahi jabo. Hal keneke bahibo let's discuss. So this is again classification of semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor already amar hoy gol pure form of silicon or germanium that we are going to not discuss here again. Then our concern is right now in extrinsic semiconductor n type and p type. N type mane ki hoy pentavalent impurity ami add korim tar definition dia ase first go through the definitions. When a small amount of pentavalent impurity is added to a pure semiconductor during crystallization then n type semiconductor is formed. Now some examples of pentavalent impurity are yar upor dia ase phosphorus arsenic antimony etc. Okay, whereas when a small amount of trivalent impurity is added to a pure semiconductor then p type semiconductor is formed. Okay, so jodi trivalent means ki hoy ki hobo pare boron indium aluminum eneko hobo pare but ami jot ji mon jai hetu koi dibo naru kisuman condition ase this criteria we will discuss. Okay, so first write down this definitions actually not this definition all the jitilke jiman definitions pali write down the definitions first then try to remember then bujilo or prothomote bujilo then try to remember same thing. So this slide is important eta amak lagibo yar upore n type or p type ki hoy aru konoba class mo khudisle what is n type and p type full form ki hoy there is no full form n type is n type p type is p type yar ko full form nai just monot thobo kane koislo moi n type means negative p type means positive but etu moi ki koislo monot thobole koislo likhibole dia naslo examot likhile borbad because n type does not mean negative or p type does not mean positive. Okay, confusing? Yeah, it is confusing na ekdam simple hai nai koise eko confusing na. So now pentavalent impurity this line I'll explain it. pentavalent impurity is donating one extra electron for conduction and hence they are also called donor impurity. Mane ki hoise? Okay, let's move to the previous slide. Iyat chua ei diagram to chua. So silicon keta asle 4ta asile, correct? Ei silicon or 4ta valence electron er majot sasun just jodi major silicon to ami jodi kenebage pentavalent, that means jodi phosphorus bhai diu eta ki hoye jabo 5ta valence electron hoye jabo na phosphorus 4ta neighboring silicon er logot bond koribo but eta extra electron thaki jabo. Now here in this definition we are talking about that extra electron. So pentavalent impurity is donating one extra electron for conduction and hence they are called donor impurity. Okay, more movie ekhona naam ahi monot ahi donor word to honi. Okay, nai ma movie khon naam nalo. Hal, so please try to understand this line. Silicon or 4ta thake, pentavalent impurity 5ta thakibo, to ki kobo silicon or 4ta logot 4ta electron share kori bond koribo aru eta bagi thiki jabo. That means eta ki koise donate kori dise lo nalage mo. So that's why pentavalent impurity is also called donor impurity. And these are the few things you should know, or I say you should remember in case of a n-type semiconductor. Electrons are the majority carrier. Details I discuss karim, but for the timing just remember electrons are the majority carrier. That means ki hai the main current flows due to flow of electrons. Holes are the minority carriers. Minority mane kom, tai contribution ekdam kom thake, okay, almost negligible, but ami neglect nokoru. And this point is very important aru bohote confuse hoy jay. Moi koisilo negative mane n mane negative no hoy, p mane positive no hoy. So the last point, n-type semiconductor is also electrically neutral. Kyo neutral pohisa biro likhi lobi, but moi bujai disu neutral kyo hoy. N-type semiconductor keneke banaisu? Silicon plus, let's assume just eta my example is simple example, silicon plus phosphorus. Phosphorus electrically neutral hoy. That means neutral mane ki hoy? Extra charge amar nai, okol phosphorus ekhine loi aise, neutral phosphorus anisu tar logot log mix korisu silicon neutral hoy. So duta neutral log lagile ki hobo? Neutral hobo. Yes, of course there will be one extra electron. Electron mane ki hoy? Negative charge, but that does not mean that as a whole this whole semiconductor is negatively charged. Okay, what I mean to say is an n-type semiconductor does not necessarily, or it is not, an n-type semiconductor is not negatively charged. Okay, both n-type and p-type semiconductor are electrically neutral because they are created by addition of electrically pentavalent or trivalent impurity atoms to the semiconductor. Bhalke poisale bujiba bisake moi beshi confuse kori disu. Okay, yat likhote moi bhalke easily banabo try korislo. The thing is that n-type mane negative no hoy, neutral hoy, p-type mane positive no hoy, neutral no hoy, and the reason is n-type banaote ami neutral silicon atom plus neutral pentavalent atom korisu. p-type banaote ami neutral silicon atom plus neutral trivalent atom add korisu. That's why neutral plus neutral neutral. Bujhili? Ab beya maths korisu moi, neutral plus neutral neutral kot pabi bhe eneka maths akol physics er possible hoy. Next, trivalent impurity. So agar nisna same hoy, just common different. Trivalent impurity has one deficiency of electron after bonding with tetravalent semiconductor atoms, hence it can accept one electron and hence they are called acceptor impurity. Eta donor ko eta acceptor ko. Yat ki hobo trivalent silicon or 4ta logot trivalent impurity, that means let's say aluminum 3ta bond koribo kintu ki hobo eta bagi thi jabo noy, kar bagi thi jabo silicon eta bagi thi jabo. That means aluminum or eta electron nai komi ase. This is called deficiency of electron, and we know deficiency of electron means hole. So ar jodi khali ase, that means ki hol tata eta electron humabo paribo, it can accept one electron. That's why it is called acceptor impurity. Hol. Then same thing again in case of a p-type semiconductor, holes are the majority carriers. Agar the difference to sa n-type semiconductor ki asle electrons are the majority carrier, yet holes are the majority carriers, and here electrons are the minority carriers. Please see the difference. And electrically neutral kyo hoy kollu ako kole bor khai jabe ekata kotha bare bare koi asu hol. Okay, by the way karobar language problem hoise niki? Assamese beshi question lagise mo hol. Okay, but for you mur but hindi to bahut ghatia hindi hai. In the next video if possible I will try to make the video with in Hindi plus English. Okay, try marim son mur Hindi kenoka hoy hunibi kiman ghatia hoy, try marim ha if possible. I am not sure. যদি পাৰোঁ মই বনাম বাৰু হিন্দীত বনাম নেক্সট ভিডিঅ' হিন্দী প্লাছ ইংলিছ এইটো কি হৈ আছে ইংলিছ প্লাছ আছামিজ Now working of a semiconductor. Before explaining, good news is that your notes মই তোমালোকক দি দিম ইয়াৰ পৰা মোৰ পৰা যদি ভাল পাৰা try to write down the notes by yourself and check কৰি ল'ব পৰা মোক যদি নোৱাৰা then I will provide you the notes. Actually ইয়াৰ এক্সামত প্ৰায় নাহে still notes তো মই দি দিম কেনেকৈ পাহৰি থাকিব নহয় বহুত দিনৰ পাছত how an n-type semiconductor works. Okay, first let's see. First diagram to say এইটো কি হয় Pure silicon means intrinsic semiconductor. Sarita covalent bond, completely covalent bond boni ase by sharing of electron with the 4 neighboring silicon atoms. Hal. So now keneke yar kaam kene korisle. At 0 Kelvin, no free electron. That means no current. Hal. Jetia ame ki koru? Heat koru. That means we increase the temperature, say to room temperature. Kunuba eta covalent bond bhagi jabo pare. Any one of the covalent bond may break. যদি হেতু ভাগি যায় তেতিয়া কি হ'ব there will be free electron means generation of electrical current অকল এইকেইটা কথা মনত থাকিলে হৈ গ'ল আমাক মুঠতে free electron লাগে or free holes লাগে ঘূৰি ফুৰা holes or electron লাগে তেতিয়া বস কাম খতম হল now next এটা move to the next diagram চাৰিটাফাল diagram আছে কি দিয়া আছে silicon আছে নিজৰ জেগাত মাজৰ silicon টো ৰিপ্লেস কৰি দিলো by phosphorus we have replaced the middle silicon with phosphorus now কি হ'ব it will form 4 covalent bonds with the neighboring 4 silicon atoms চাৰিটা ইলেক্ট্ৰন বন্ড কৰি ল'ব আৰু এটা ফ্ৰী ইলেক্ট্ৰন থাকি যাব ইয়াত দেখাই দিছে সো কি হৈ আছে টেম্পাৰেচাৰ কথা মতলবেই নাই নো টেম্পাৰেচাৰ কথা নাহে even at room temperature or even at normal temperature there is a free electron but I will say this electron is not completely free কিয় ফ্ৰী নহয় ফসফৰাছৰ ভ্যালেন্স চেলত সোমাই আছে ভাই this electron is in the valence cell of phosphorus to completely free নহয় নহয় আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব valence cell of electron to উলিয়াই নিব লাগিব হল তেতিয়া ফ্ৰী হ'ব yes it is not forming any covalent bond with the silicon obviously covalent bond break কৰিবলৈ যিমান এনাৰ্জি দিব লাগিব তাতকৈ বহুত কম এনাৰ্জি লাগিব to free this electron from the valence cell হল so কি হ'ব at room temperature normally side diagram to যিফালে আছে for intrinsic semiconductor there may or there may not be any covalent bond ekku nabhangibo pare in the at room temperature hol but here in this extrinsic n-type semiconductor ki hobo at room temperature ei jitu free electron naam dia ase this is so called free electron eto room temperature te completely free hoy jabo at 0 kelvin free nohoy at 0 kelvin there is no energy okkoman jodi temperature bohai diu this electron will jump from its valence cell to conduction cell or valence band to conduction band hol kotha to hol eya jitu electron lagi ase valence cellot yak jodi ami free koribo lage ekdom free koribo lage then energy ekdom kom lage hol room temperature te hi free hoy jabo beleg covalent bond na bhangile hobo jodi ami aru temperature bohai diu ki hobo covalent bond aru bhagibo tetia electrical conductivity aru bahi jabo hol so ki hol amar problem ki asle এই প্ৰথম ডায়াগ্ৰামটোৰ লগত ইন্ট্ৰিনসিক লগত যদি ৰুম টেম্পাৰেচাৰ লৈকে আমি টেম্পাৰেচাৰটো বহাইও দিও then also there is very little amount of electrical conductivity হল but here in extrinsic n-type semiconductor কি হ'ব যদি আমি ৰুম টেম্পাৰেচাৰ লৈকে টেম্পাৰেচাৰটো বহাই দিও then there will be a huge number of free electrons for conduction that's why n-type semiconductor is more effective than a pure intrinsic semiconductor আৰু ইয়াত মেইনলি মুভ কি কৰিব দিস ফ্ৰী ইলেক্ট্ৰন তো ইফালে বাইফালে মুভ কৰি থাকিব লাষ্ট ভিডিঅ'ত আই এক্সপ্লেইন হাউ এ ইলেক্ট্ৰন মুভছ ফ্ৰম ওৱান পজিশ্যন টু আনাদাৰ ইয়াতো ইফালে বাইফালে মুভ কৰি থাকিব হল যদি এইটো বুজিলি দেন working of p-type semiconductor is almost same we will start with the same intrinsic semiconductor then ইয়াত আমি আগতকৈ ডিফাৰেন্স কি হয় here we will replace the middle silicon atom with aluminum so কি হ'ব there are 3 electrons of aluminum in the outer shell it will form 3 covalent bonds with the neighboring silicon atom and there will be one deficiency of electron that means there is one presence of hole which and so there is one incomplete covalent bond hol so etia ki hobo negative positive attraction কথা অলপ কৈছিলো exactly তেনেকুৱা নহয় কিন্তু হেতু কনসেপ্ট এপ্লাই নহয় জাস্ট মনত থব কাৰণে কৈছে for the time being ওচৰত থকা neighboring electron এটা তালে আহি যাব এই হোল টো ফিল আপ কৰিব দেন য'ৰ পৰা ইলেক্ট্ৰনটো আহিলে তাত আকৌ হোল এটা ক্ৰিয়েট হৈ যাব তেনেকৈ কি ক'ব দেয়াৰ ইজ এ মুভমেণ্ট অফ হোলছ ইভেন এট ৰুম টেম্পাৰেচাৰ আগৰ নিচিনা ছেইম হয় বাকী কনচেপ্ট ছেইম হয় হ'ল চ' ইভেন এট ৰুম টেম্পাৰেচাৰ দেয়াৰ আৰ হিউজ নাম্বাৰ অফ হোলছ ইন এন p-type semiconductor and even at room temperature there are a huge number of electrons at n-type semiconductor. Well, both this electron and hole are called current carriers. Well, because duita jodi move kore they produce current. They are called current carriers. That means at room temperature for an extrinsic semiconductor, whether it is p-type or n-type, there are huge number of current carriers. That means electrical conductivity is very high compared to a intrinsic semiconductor. Jot there are just a few number of holes or electrons. Well, so normally and all about that question udislo just eta kotha koislo je temperature upot extrinsic semiconductor keneke behave koribo. So the thing is the electrical conductivity of intrinsic semiconductor depends completely on the temperature. Okay, if you raise the temperature then the electrical conductivity will increase. But here if in extrinsic semiconductor the contribution of temperature is I will say almost negligible. Okay, so I mean normally sab ami room temperature e kaam koru so beshi temperature ami goromot kaam nokoru so room temperature te completely whether it is p type or n type both have enough number of free electrons or holes for conduction. So temperature upor iman beshi depend nokore. So then car upor depend kore ami keneke ami vary korim. Okay, ami koislo amar convenience hisabot use koribo paro so ami car upor vary korim. So the electrical, this line is very important, you please write this line. So the electrical conductivity of extrinsic semiconductor depends on the doping concentration. Means ami doping jimane beshi korim electrical conductivity himane beshi hobo. Hol so jodi doping ami kom koru conductivity kom hobo jodi korbat amak conductivity beshi lage then we will have to increase the doping amount doping concentration ami bahai dile hoy gol hol hetu hisab electrical conductivity change hoy jabo. Then just let's sum up this point. So for n-type semiconductor number density of electron is very very higher than number density of holes. Already I have discussed kiyo hoy holes to ketia ahibo. Okay, again jodi buji pon asle keneke hoisle so n-type semiconductor ki asle there is one extra free electron. Okay, so hetu normally room temperature thakibo jodi ami temperature increase kori diu then there may be some কিছুমান বন কি হ'ব পাৰে ব্ৰেক হৈ যাব পাৰে কোভেলেন্ট বন যদি কোভেলেন্ট বন ব্ৰেক হয় then there may be formation of holes also যদি কোভেলেন্ট বন ব্ৰেক হয় intrinsic semiconductor যেটো হৈছিল so কিছুমান হোল আহিব পাৰে so হোল মুভমেন্ট কৰিব পাৰে so যদি আমি ধৰিলা টেম্পাৰেচাৰ বহুত বেছি হাই কৰি থৈছো তেতিয়া কি হ'ব ফাৰ্স্ট অফ অল ডপিংৰ কাৰণে there is already ইলেক্ট্ৰন আছে এক্সট্ৰা ইলেক্ট্ৰন আছে আকৌ কি হ'ল যেতিয়া আমি টেম্পাৰেচাৰ বেছি বঢ়াই দিলো এটা বন ব্ৰেক হ'ল that means কি হ'ল ইলেক্ট্ৰনো ভাঙি বেছি ওলালে ইলেক্ট্ৰন ওলালে হোলছ ওলালে সো হোল কি হ'ল প্ৰথমতে নৰমালি ডপিংৰ কাৰণে আছে ইলেক্ট্ৰন কিহৰ কাৰণে আহিলে ইলেক্ট্ৰন আহিলে ডপিংৰ কাৰণে প্লাস টেম্পাৰেচাৰ ইনক্ৰিজ কৰাৰ কাৰণে আৰু হোলছ কিহৰ কাৰণে আহিলে অনলি টেম্পাৰেচাৰ ইনক্ৰিজ কৰাৰ কাৰণে সো ডেফিনেটলি number density of electron is very very greater than number density of holes. Similarly you can elect this p-type semiconductor কি হ'ব number density of holes will be very very greater than number density of electron কেনেকে নিজে বুজিবল ট্ৰাই কৰ. Then this line is important to solve numericals episode solve korim at thermal equilibrium for an extrinsic semiconductor number density of electron multiplied with number density of hole is equal to square of number density of intrinsic carriers. I means number density of intrinsic carrier. Okay, so again last one very small topic no actually eta kotha dhyan dibola kotha ase so this value remember akman tolo prothom ekebe lastor tolor diagram to remember point to manot thoba dislo the forbidden energy gap for silicon is about 1.1 electron volt and the forbidden energy gap of germanium is about 0.72 electron volt. Okay, so himan khini energy dile he ki hoy it an intrinsic semiconductor behaves as a conductor. Okay, but after doping means ki gol extrinsic bani gol. So this energy gap becomes 0.01 electron volt for germanium and 0.05 electron volt for silicon. এইকিটা এনার্জি কেনেকৈ আছিল অলপ আগতে কৈছিলো মই ইলেক্ট্ৰন যে হুমাই আছে ভ্যালেন্স সেলত হয় এটা ইলেক্ট্ৰন এক্সট্ৰা আছে n টাইপ সেমিকন্ডাক্টৰ বাট সেই ইলেক্ট্ৰনটো ক'ত হুমাই আছে ভ্যালেন্স সেলত যদি if that extrinsic semiconductor crystal is silicon and we are providing an energy equivalent to heat energy equivalent to 0.05 electron volt, then that valence electron will free from its valence shell. Then it will conduct electricity. So doping or pasat chua temperature nobahalo hoy jay, almost nobahalo hoy jay, 0.01, very less compared to 0.07 for germanium. That's why at room temperature, even at room temperature also, extrinsic semiconductor works perfectly, ekdam bhalke kaam kore. But at room temperature intrinsic semiconductor kaam ekdam nokore, bhalke nokore, temperature bahut beshi bahaba lage. Aru temperature jodi bahut beshi bahai diu ki hobo, heat energy ani loss kori asu. Okay, so that's why extrinsic semiconductor. So I think azilege iman khini asle. In the next video আমি অলপ বেলেগ টপিক ডিসকাস কৰিম. সো এই দুটা টপিকৰ ওপৰত যদি কিবা ডাউট আছে, then you can join the doubt clearing session in the evening. আজি ইভিনিং এটা ডাউট ক্লিয়াৰিং সেশন থাকিব. প্লিজ ফৰৱাৰ্ড ইয়াৰ নাম্বাৰছ কোনোবা যদি জইন কৰিবলৈ বিচাৰিছে. অলৰেডি আই হেভ ফৰ্ম 3 or 4 গ্ৰুপছ, কেইটামান গ্ৰুপ অলৰেডি আছে. যদি আৰু কোনোবা সোমোৱা নাই গ্ৰুপত, then you can join there for live interactive session. তাত যদি কিবা ডাউট থাকে সুধিব পাৰা, আৰু মই তাত 1-to-1 ইণ্টাৰেকশ্যন কৰি ডাউট ক্লিয়াৰ কৰিব পাৰা. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video, and please I'll suggest jodi kiba doubt ase, then join that session. And notes ইয়াৰ পৰা লিখি যা, বেলেগ notes এতিয়া নালাগে. In the end, after the end of this whole chapter, I'll solve the questions for you. Question bank jiman question ase sab solve kori dim, then I think we can sum up or conclude this chapter. Okay, thank you so much.